I have a warning for you. Don't let your teeth fall out. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Caroline, and today I'm going to talk about a very common side effect to many types of medicine, and a side effect that can actually have huge consequences for your teeth and your mouth, and that side effect is dry mouth. So I had the idea for this video a few weeks back when I got an infection in my mouth, and it was really bad. It was both in the top of my mouth but also in the bottom, and it was bleeding and hurting. I could hardly eat, and I really panicked because I knew that I am on some medicine that can give me dry mouth, and I also knew that that could have really bad consequences for my teeth. So I obviously called the dentist to make sure everything was fine, and I also went to the pharmacy and got myself some products to help with the infection. I'm gonna get back to that. I went to the dentist, and thankfully no harm had been done. It was just an infection. So my teeth were fine. She said she wanted to see me in 6 months just to be sure everything was still fine, and you know, obviously going regularly to the dentist. So you know, I got away with it, so to speak. But it really made me realize that I have to be really cautious. Do I feel like my mouth is dry? Because maybe even if you don't really feel overly dry in your mouth, you might still have dry mouth. And I don't want to lose my teeth. So I thought maybe it's time that I try to prevent my medicines ruining my teeth. And I want to share with you what I came up with. And when I say came up with, it's not just random things, it's something I talked with the dentist about. So what does it mean to have dry mouth? Well, it very simply means you do not have enough saliva in your mouth and you're not producing enough. And saliva actually has many really important functions in your mouth. One function is that it protects the mucous membrane in your mouth against infections, and it also protects your teeth against caries, which is holes in your teeth. It also counteracts the growth of microorganisms and kills bacteria in your mouth. Another function is that it counteracts caries, and it does so by removing leftover food from your mouth, and also by neutralizing acids, and also by repairing incipient caries. It also lubricates your mouth so that it's easier to chew, it's easier to swallow, and also easier to speak. A function that actually surprised me a little bit was that saliva actually has a pretty important function when it comes to sense of taste. So if you have a very dry mouth, that can actually affect your ability to taste food and drinks and stuff. So I didn't know that. The last function I'm gonna mention is that it also carries nutrients and digestive enzymes, which help with the decomposition of food. So as you can hear, saliva really does have an important function in the mouth, and you know, the consequences of having a dry mouth can be infections, and it can be having holes in your teeth, it can be plague, and all these things can actually ruin your teeth. It can make them loose and fall out, and you will have to get new teeth. And on top of that, we all know how expensive the dentist can be, right? So it's going to leave you with a really big dentist bill. And you know, the last thing we need as chronically ill is another bill. So, like I mentioned earlier, dry mouth is a very common side effect to many medications. And I'm gonna mention a few, but you can always find out if it's a side effect to your medication by checking out the package leaflet under side effects. But I'm gonna mention a few, and one of the medications that can actually cause dry mouth is medicine for high blood pressure. It is also something like diuretics and something like antihistamines. Also, most types of medicine for mental illnesses can cause dry mouth, including antidepressants and medicine for ADD and ADHD. Also, narcotic substances can cause dry mouth. And this includes prescription pain medicine as morphine and tramadol. And last but not least, chemotherapy can also cause dry mouth. So I want to give you a few tips for what you can do if you take medicine that causes dry mouth and you actually feel like you have dry mouth. The cheapest way to increase the amount of saliva in your mouth is by stimulating the production of saliva. And you can do this very easily by either chewing sugar-free gum or sucking on sugar-free pastils. This will stimulate the production of saliva. And this is definitely the cheapest way to go and actually very effective. It's just really important to remember it has to be sugar-free. It's also a really good idea to switch to a gentle toothpaste with no foaming agent in it. The foaming agent, especially if you have a dry mouth or a sensitive mouth, can actually harm the mucous membrane in your mouth. So, and the foaming agent doesn't really have any important function considering cleaning your teeth. It's really just to make it foam. So it's not necessary to use toothpaste with a foaming agent in it. You might as well use one without, a gentle toothpaste, and not risk harming your mucous membrane. So the most important thing is actually to have a very high dental hygiene. And this of course includes brushing your teeth twice a day and also using dental floss. Really important. A lot of people don't, but it is so important whether you have dry mouth or not. If you suffer from incredibly dry mouth, you can actually choose to brush your teeth and use dental floss every time you ate something as much as possible in order to make sure that you're not harming your teeth. Avoiding products with a high level of sugar in them is also really good idea, and drinking a lot of water, at least 1.5 to 2 liters of water every day, maybe even more if you're very dehydrated. And this is because it can, help not dehydrate. It can help hydrate your body, including your mouth. So this was some of the more simple things you can do at home if you have a very dry mouth and it's not enough drinking plenty of water and it's not enough for you to chew gum or something like that. You can go to the pharmacy and you can get products that has something in them that stimulates the production of saliva in your mouth. And you can get these, as far as I know, you can get pastils with different types of taste. And you can also get a spray, which can be really good if you wake up in the middle of the night and you're just so dry in your mouth. You can just spray very fast in your mouth. And it also comes in a gel. I would definitely also recommend going on a regular basis to the dentist. Ask your dentist, how often do you think I'm taking this medicine? I do feel like I have a bit of a dry mouth. How often do you recommend that I come for a checkup and to get my teeth cleaned? Personally, I was so happy to hear that my teeth had not been damaged. So she cleaned up my teeth and checked them out, and she said, I'll see you in 6 months just to be sure everything is still fine. And then if it's still as good as it is now, you can come once a year. But maybe your dentist recommends every 3 months, every 6 months. But come to the dentist for a checkup, or go to the dentist for a checkup and get your teeth cleaned as much as the dentist recommends. Yes, it is quite expensive going to the dentist, but in the long run, it's going to be worth it because it's going to be so much more expensive and horrible for you if you end up damaging your teeth. So go to the dentist. The last thing I want to mention is that when I had my infection in my mouth, I went to the pharmacy to get some mouthwash with disinfection in it. Now, this is not something you should use on a daily basis, but if you do have an infection in your mouth, it's a good idea to use for a few days just to kick the infection back and kill the bacteria off really effectively. But another thing I also bought was actually lozenges with probiotics in them that was designed for restoring the balance of the good bacteria flora in the mouth. It was really, really effective, and I remember thinking this is a really good idea when you are on medicine that you have dry mouth. It's a really good idea to make sure that there is a balance in the good bacteria in your mouth. especially since I had an infection, and it was really, really effective. It was something I was to take twice a day for 2 weeks. So it's like a cure kind of a thing. It's not something you have to take every day. It was also quite expensive, but it's not something you have to take every day. But I was actually thinking, infection or not, maybe I should do this maybe twice a year, just to make sure that I have, you know, a good balance of the good and protective bacteria in my mouth. And it was actually really effective to help me get rid of my infection in my mouth. So I can definitely recommend probiotics for the mouth. So everyone, that was today's video, and please take care of your mouth and your teeth. Please go to the dentist to your regular checkups, and please be very much aware if your medicine can cause dry mouth, and, you know, do anything you can to prevent damaging your teeth. You will regret it if you don't. But I really hope that you enjoyed the video and that it was useful for you. If you have any other tips on how to protect your teeth and your mouth, you can leave a comment down below. Tell us. Let's help each other with all the great tips out there. Also, don't forget to hit that like button and also subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications. I would be very grateful. You can also go follow me on my Instagram. That's also called The Art of Being Ill. So I wish you all an amazing rest of the day, and I will see you next time right here on my channel.